Today we'll be having a short topic, and the topic focuses on conditions of marriage and consequences, remedies and effect thereof. So very briefly we'll be dealing with it. Now section 5 talks about conditions of marriage. Section 5 clause 1 talks about neither party has a spouse living at the time of marriage, that is bigamy. So if bigamy has been committed, then as per section 11 such marriage is void. It is void. Void means null and void is zero, nothing in eye of law. And as per section 17 it is a penal offence under section 494 and 495 IPC, Indian Penal Code. So this section 5, section 11, section 17 and so on, section 12, section 18, these all are of Hindu Marriage Act 1955. So these are the conditions. Failing to these conditions has its own consequences. Now then we have section 5 clause 2. It talks about unsoundness of mind. Unsoundness of mind. And it covers valid consent plus fitness as to marriage. Means party should be in a condition to give valid consent, should be of sound mind, and even if of sound mind, then the party shall be fit for the purpose of marriage. And the basic theme of marriage lies in procreation of children. Apart from procreation of children, companionship is another and the governing factor, but still parties have their own consideration, and on behalf of that this provision has been made with consequences. As per section 12 such marriages are voidable. As I told you, companionship is above all. Procreation of children is of a sense, but not beyond companionship. So if party is not fit in the sense of companionship, the party cannot be a companion to other party. In that case also, and where unsoundness of mind is there, in that case also the marriage is voidable. Voidable means it is up to the aggrieved party to render the marriage null and void or to carry on. So here it can be a nullity by decree of nullity, which will be passed by court. By nullity means it will be annulled by decree of nullity on a petition filed by petitioner. On the other hand, void marriages are already null and void, they are of nullity. Okay, so here declaration is to be made. Hence such marriages are declared to be null and void. On the other hand, in case of voidable marriage, such marriages are annulled by decree of nullity, because voidable means the party may be cancelled or rendered null and void at the option of aggrieved party. Then section 5 clause 3 talks about valid or legal age, that is 18 for girls and 21 for boys to get married. This is a legal age. Now if this condition is contravened, then as per section 18 rigorous imprisonment up to 2 years or fine up to 1 lakh rupees or both is the consequences. Look, here marriage is valid, neither voidable nor void, but marriage is valid. Further, as per section 13 clause 2 subclause 4, such marriage may be repudiated. This section talks about dissolution of marriage, that is divorce. So this ground is only available with female girls only. If a girl got married before attaining 15 years of age but repudiated the marriage before attaining 18 years of age, then the marriage will be dissolved. So this is the consequences mentioned in section 13 clause 2 subclause 4. Then we have fourth condition, that is section 5 clause 4, prohibited degree of relationship. Customs and usages are exception to it. So if this condition is contravened, then as per section 11 such marriages are void, and as per section 18 simple imprisonment up to 1 month or fine up to 1000 rupees or both would be awarded. Now the last condition, section 5 clause 5th, that is Sapinder relationship. Again custom and usages are an exception. If this condition is contravened, then as per section 11 such marriages are void, and as per section 18 simple imprisonment up to 1 month or fine up to 1000 rupees or both. When we talk specifically about competitive exams, then questions are asked from what we have discussed, and this is also relevant for the purpose of mains and other exams and for the purpose of syllabus also.